Now there are so many options to filter material for your kids. Even though they have these child-safe filters on, they are still seeing inappropriate content show up. So the New York Times actually published an extensive article looking at some startling videos that were catching the attention of a number of concerned parents. And these were often found on YouTube Kids, which is supposed to be a safe option for parents who want to allow their kids to watch many of the popular cartoon programs on YouTube. But when searching for those popular cartoon programs, what is happening is that these knockoff videos that are created by other people are popping up in those searches. So often these videos will have altered storylines. They are dealing with very dark subject matter. It could be death. It could be car crashes. Some of them contain demons. I want to give you an example. One of those is the popular show Paw Patrol, but instead, in one of these particular knockoff shows, the characters die. And in another, a popular character many people know, Peppa the Pig, well, in this altered video, she goes to the dentist, but it essentially turns into a torture experience. So very disturbing material. Many kids not aware, and this is what they're encountering. Now, another challenge parents are facing, we have an example from a woman named Katie Jordan, a mother of two, and she says that she has safe filters on Netflix, of course, popular streaming service. For her 9-year-old, she has a setting, older kids and below, which is supposed to filter out content, but this is what she saw. And so a number of rated R porn titles popped up. She was very concerned. She contacted and complained to Netflix, and they said it was because of a bug. So a lot of this happening because of algorithms that we rely on for these particular search filters, and they're not always standing up to the test. Now, they apologized and managed to fix the issue, but of course, not before the kids saw some of these inappropriate videos.
Never even knew that would be possible to be faked in that way. So what's the solution for parents then, Tashana?
Well, essentially, parents have to be extra vigilant. For many parents, they try to monitor their kids or, in an open space. So watching TV or using the computer where they are able to see. But of course, not everyone can do that. And so if that's not possible, you can pre-select videos for your kids so that you're choosing what they're able to watch. And some parents say that they check their settings regularly to ensure that nothing is slipping through that shouldn't be.
It's a trend that's been popping up on multiple news sources. What we're seeing is that whether it's on Netflix, whether it's on YouTube, because of the way content can slip through algorithms, because there isn't enough human moderation, there's some disturbing content that kids are seeing. So on YouTube in particular, there's some very popular shows, whether it's Nickelodeon's Paw Patrol, which is about a group of scruffy dogs who solve problems, whether it's Peppa Pig, another show that's aimed towards preschoolers, that mixed in with the verified content, that those episodes that you would trust your kids to watch, there's some really disturbing remixes as well. And these are remixes where, Peppa Pig goes to the dentist, only she gets tortured instead, where Peppa Pig eats her father, drinks bleach. Just really, really disturbing content for anyone, let alone young kids.
Okay, let me just jump in there, Ramona. Ramona, let me just jump in there because we have isolated some of these so people can understand exactly what we're talking about. On the left of the screen, there's the real episode of Peppa Pig when Peppa goes to the dentist. And on the right, that fake that you're talking about, fear, torturous appearance. And here's another example that we pulled from Paw Patrol, which you mentioned, firefighter to the rescue, and then on the right, the fake, the crash, the death, the fear. So this exactly speaks to what you're talking. You mentioned algorithm. How is this happening that this kind of fake content is getting through the filters?
Well, this is what's so disturbing is because it's mixed in with the rest of the content. It's not like a parent would ever sit their kid down to watch the scary deviations or these torturous deviations, but instead, you'll sit down and people are familiar with the way YouTube works. One clip plays and then another and then another, and because it's the same keywords, the same content that's there, the same hashtags, one verified show will run, and then one of these scary programs might run. And if a parent is busy making dinner or doing the laundry, they may not be aware of the fact that this deviant content or these remixes are playing in the middle of a string of content. Now, YouTube has taken steps since this started coming to light to solve this problem. What they've done is they say that when content is posted to YouTube proper, it takes a few days before it makes it over to YouTube Kids, and they're hoping that in that time people will flag the content. But unfortunately, it means that there's still a few days where that content is online, but it's also relying on people. It's relying on viewers to be flagging that content as opposed to them being able to handle it themselves. So it's still not a perfect solution.
Well, it's impossible given the amount of material people upload to be able to catch everything, I assume. So it does take some time for them to react. At least they are reacting. But for the parents, incumbent on parents, to notify, as you've suggested, but what else should parents do to make sure that their children aren't being bombarded by these pretty frightening images?
Well, it's a great question. And again, as you mentioned at the top of the show, there's a lot of parents who trust the kids' safety settings, whether it's kids' YouTube or whether it's the child-friendly settings on Netflix, because, by and large, it is just verified kids' content that you're seeing there. And so a lot of the time, you need a few extra minutes, you'll put your kid down to watch some of these kid-friendly shows. And a lot of parents actually say that it helps their kids learn how to count, or it helps their kids learn another language. Spanish, Dora the Explorer is great for that. Unfortunately, you don't know when there's going to be some of this other content that slips through the cracks. Again, as you say, because of how much content gets posted on a daily basis. There's more content that gets posted every day than any of us could watch in our lifetime, which makes it very hard for a company like YouTube to really be moderating what's there. So experts say the best solution really is co-viewing, that you sit down and watch that content with your kids, or if you know that you're going to need to use it sort of as a digital daycare or a digital babysitter, to screen the clips before you have your kids watching it, because you just can't rely on the machine to be doing the job of the parent just yet, unfortunately.